Hello, my name is Samantha from Scraps of Love. I am here to show you a couple techniques using Gilding Flakes. I'm using the Nuvo Gilding Flakes today. We do also carry more Gilding Flakes in our two stores in Peoria and Sun City West, Arizona. The first technique I'm going to show you is taking a die cut that's a background and adding the Gilding Flakes to underneath. So I did do a little trick so I didn't have to do the whole background in Gilding Flakes. I saved a little bit of flakes that way. And then later in the video, I'm going to show you how to do this fun marble technique. And all it uses is glue, a palette knife, and your Gilding Flakes. And then I'll also show you this fun way to use your stamps with Gilding Flakes. Alright, so let's start out with this card here. I have pre-taped majority of it. I only have to do that one row on the bottom. But in order for me not to do the whole background, I had my die cut out. I lined it up where I wanted it on my card. This actually fills the whole card front, so I don't have to worry about lining up my corners. And then I went, with a pencil, I went in and I drew where my lines ended and where I didn't have to put tape, basically. So then you can see on the bottom row here, I have a line where how far across it goes and kind of how narrow the line is. So then I'll take my 1/4 inch score tape and I'm going to take it, it's almost to the edge there, and you want to make sure it's somewhat straight with your line. Add that, and then it is a tape that tears, so I just tore that off at the end there. And I can go in with my scissors, I went a little over the edge and cut it off. I'm going to burnish my tape real quick. And then I can peel them up. So I am going to say that dealing with Gilding Flakes, you have to be very careful because a little breath of air will make them go everywhere. So you don't want to work with a fan above you or blowing towards you. You kind of want to do it in still air. So you'll see as I'm working with them, they kind of go everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to take this brush here. It's just a random brush I had in my stash at home. And I'm actually going to work directly out of the flake container. I do recommend for smaller pieces and adhesive actually working with it in a plastic baggie, like this one here, which we'll use a little bit later in the video. See how light and fluffy there is? You can't even tell I've used flakes out of this already. So you could take a pinch and, that's too big, kind of put it all over the front here. And it's only going to stick to where the tape is. Then you'll burnish it down. You'll kind of see you can pick a couple more up and lay it on there and burnish it in. And a little bit really does go a long way. And it is somewhat messy, but it's fun. It vacuums up easily. It's an easy cleanup. Look at how easy that little background was right there. And I do recommend working with a piece of paper underneath you so you can save a lot of your extra little flakes here. I'll just kind of scoop them up and put them back on top there. You see, brush it into my container. And you see, I got a nice background now. And then I have my die cut that I cut out. And I can lay it right on top there. And look at that. I got a nice, easy, sophisticated card. Almost ready. So we just went and we added, got Gilding Flakes on this. We went and we added Actually, it's just a square we cut out. And we layered a piece of vellum underneath to make it so it wasn't so black on black. And then we used a gold brad and we made a little tassel. And look at that. We got a nice, easy, very easy graduation card. All right, next. Let's put our lid on our Gilding Flakes before it gets out of control. So next I'm going to show you how to add it with your stamp. Brush out of the way. I'll actually pick those up to use it on this one here. So I'm going to take a little bit of this mono liquid glue from Tombow. I like to use this one because when it dries, it still dries tacky. So there's a couple other ones you can use, like the Zig 2-way glue and the Quickie glue pen will also work. I like this one because it's more liquid. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my mat here. Running low. Need a glue holder. Usually we have one. And then I'll take a foam brush. It's just a standard cheapy foam brush. Dip it in and tap it on the stamp here. Okay. And then we're going to go directly onto our paper. Nice clean stamp. Let it dry for a second. Here's my glue holder. So we do sell these on our website and in both of our locations. This one's made specially for this glue here. We also have them available for regular glue and Nuvo glue and all the different ones. So this will just hold my glue upside down since it's getting low. I don't have to wait for it to go to my tip again. Alright, so now that this has sit for a second and the glue's kind of set, we can go in and I'm going to pick up some of my flakes that I've spilled over the edge here and just brush it directly on. And look at that. I got a nice golden hello to add to a fun card. And I didn't have to get out my foil machine. Alright, another extra little bonus technique. I have this die cut here that I die cutted with my Big Shot. And I actually already put double-sided score tape on it before I die cutted it. So then this is all sticky. I've already peeled up the release paper and everything. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it in my plastic bag of Gilding Flakes. My plastic bag, I can close it and get some on there. And you want to try to work in the bag. Otherwise, it's just going to be as messy as if you were to work outside of the bag. And then I can take my brush and I can brush it all off. Burnish it in. And look at this. Let's see, I have a piece of black here. Put it behind it. Look at how pretty. That would be an easy card in itself with a little saying down here. And pick up my hello. How easy would that card be? So fun. All right, and this one, this last technique here, this is one of my absolute favorites. It is my marble card. Look at how pretty that is. So, first things first, you're going to have your card front out. Okay, this one, we're going to use a palette knife, which this is just a standard palette knife. I believe it's Dina Wakley's. We do carry them at both locations. I'm going to take my glue again, same glue I used before, Add some more to my mat here. And you can do this with paint or water. Not this technique exactly, but for the splattering, you can do it with any medium. I take my palette knife, and it's clean and dry. Dip it right into my glue here. Pretty generous. And then I take my finger, and I just pull back and shoot. And I just kind of, luckily I'm working on black so you can see where the glue lands. If you're working on white, it's kind of hard. This is messy, so if you have a splat box, I would use it. So you kind of get it where you want it. You can add a little bit more. You can, I mean, I love doing this on dark colors so that you can see where your glue goes. So there, it's kind of about what I want with it. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. It won't be very pretty if I do it while it's still wet. I did do one a few minutes ago that I have set aside. You can kind of see it's shiny where the glue landed. And then, look, I already have Gilding Flakes on it. So now I can just take my, I wouldn't use that. I'll use this brush. Take my brush and I can pick up some of the old Gilding Flakes and rub it on there. And you want to be sure to get wherever you got glue. It's only going to stick to where you put glue. So you don't have to worry about staying within the edges or anything. I might need a couple more flakes from my jar here. You can see? Cat's knocking down things. All right. Shake it off, and look at that. I got a nice, beautiful marble. And it only stuck where glue splattered. So, how much fun can you have with Gilding Flakes? So much. There's my finished card again. And this one I did on navy. So it does look different than the black. And it's random. It's kind of like marble. Marble's random. All right, thanks you guys for watching. I hope you have lots of fun with Gilding Flakes and step out of your comfort zone and make a mess.